Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney, and let's continue. It's actually been a while since I actually played. It was back before I got COVID and Digimon came out, so my voice is maybe off. Anyway, yeah, let's go. 22nd of February, 1:11 p.m., Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Phew, we made it back in one piece. Just... to be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruto-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. Now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Is everything alright? Suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. But I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. Was Kazuma-san's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him? Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. You're doing wonderfully, Naruto-san. I have no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us. Thank you, Sasato-san. Thank you. Alright, let's present the badge. Just for the hell of it. You've been wearing that ever since we arrived in Great Britain, haven't you? Well, it's what shows that I'm a lawyer, so it seems appropriate. I'm not sure that it really means much in this country, though, I'm afraid. Won't say that. It might not be official, but it looks official. Often when the police stop me, I just show them this and they leave me alone. You're stopped by the police? Often? Well, you know, I'm a suspicious foreigner dressed all in black with a sword at my side. I do think it's probably the sword that's the main reason. Still, it makes me happy to see you wearing it. The armband. Yes, I made up my mind that I'll carry them always. This symbol of who I am, and the sword Karma. Ooh. I just wanna read that. Let's do the normal stuff. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he is actually a bare-faced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. Not to me. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Saseki-san's poisoning the tea. Careful of your praising, Sasato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspeare than yet we know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspeare certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? The Hottie Clinic? Let me see. Yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or parts as Londoners call it. You know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah yes, after Saseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Mr. Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Saseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's? Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Yeah. So, we know that Saseki-san took the tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspeare's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue out to see. There must be something Mr. Shamspeare's doing that will help solve this mystery. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely! And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left at the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. Kazuma Asogi, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. Hey, get in the closet. As a stowaway? Yeah, he could fit inside my trunk if he curled up enough. I'm sure no one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you into Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through the trial. That you really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But if never even thought about becoming a lawyer, well, I can't force you, obviously. You have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. Huh? Naruhodo-san. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. He changed the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. Doesn't get better. That's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right, but... Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Nothing did change. Everything's still the same. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? Oh shit. I mean this. This katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away. No, I know. It's because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. It means karma. Karma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through the generations of the Asogi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. Can't be parted from my katana. Karma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two. Not that you would need much compelling on that subject. There's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something I have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I had hoped that answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've not found a single clue. I see. Nothing to examine, except for this. Oh, I already did. Cool. Let's go to Sholmes' suite. It's 22nd of February, Sholmes' suite. Oh, Runo and Susie! Hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look so immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderer returns at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, was it? I sure mentioned that only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really, I would have liked to see it. I must pass the times of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zeeks an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruto. Quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That is the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? And before we examine everything. There. Okay. This is new. Get ready to do that. If I remember correctly, this large imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. To think that every single one of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes blossomed from this very machine. Oh, it's such a dreamy thought. I actually had to go on it the other day. The middle bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. Mr. Naruto, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again. Ugh, now I've made Sasata-san angry as well. Cool. Just gonna do a quick look around. Probably nothing new. Okay, good. Lord Van Zeeks. Lord Baroque Van Zeeks. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet, yes, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue, being set upon by highwaymen. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zeek's own hand. As it happens, Mr. Sato, that is quite impossible. Oh, why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always has a cast iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruto. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into the trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor Bruno! I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. Oh! Japanese people have a foul smell? What? So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. What? Oh my. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but it is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful, Iris. At the ready, Holly. Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It turned completely black. And a foul odor it's giving off. Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with this black liquid now? You drink it. Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. That's why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. Point is, we are entering a new era of science, in the world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science. Oh, such exciting times. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative techniques is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find more about that. Yeah, let's just stick to the topic. It's good going back and forth. So your tea test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here. I haven't even heard of them until recently, which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. Now what I'm researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Really, Mr. Sholmes? As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Okay, let's continue the Van Zeeks thing. Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending being Japanese as well as Mrs. Sato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zeek seems to have an inherent disdain for the Japanese. Indeed, it's an interesting observation. Do you know something about it, do you, Mr. Sholmes? No. It was about 10 years ago that Baroque Van Zeeks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but... The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, It is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. I guess. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Runo. See you later. Yes, until later. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us. You, Yes, of course, you just said so just a moment ago. You said you'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Una. Bye, Susie. Okay, let's go to the hospital. Is that a rat? 22nd of February, St. Bartholomew's Hospital. Recovery ward. What do you suppose is happening? Sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Aww. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily thou art mistaken. Stick in my foot! You're looking at my painting! The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed the poison that mustached villain gaveth me, forgive me, lady. I wish that you died from that poison. God have mercy, ample lady, but thou seest, I have vigor still. Behold my Shamspeare dance. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Oh. Hello, 'tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How can I... what are you doing here, Mr. Shamspeare? Mary, I do believe I am returned unto another world. He was looking... That's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow. So talk you're clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Oh. Oh, wow. Anon, excellent. Mr. Shamspeare might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. So sorry. I'm such an awful person. Ah, Miss Green, is everything alright? Oh, yes, I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. Don't deserve it. Okay. I can't talk to her. Can I look at everything? Or have I already looked at everything? I have. Let's talk to her. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am. Thank you. I mean, people too recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me? Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it has been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll be back on this phone day. Really? Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Oh yes, of course. Sorry did I take up your time when you're obviously busy. Busy sitting there? Okay. How do I switch? Oh yeah, B. Got Digimon controls right now. Now let's go to Shamspeare. 22nd February. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ground floor. But it's not Mr. Natsume's. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing there? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware. Yeah, I know the score. Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window, did you find it, with the tea in it? Yeah, we found it alright. There was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. It's with the identification section of the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today. That's wonderful news, thank you. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in there. Okay. Oh! Whoa. I was hoping it'd be a turn instead. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What question indeed? Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Boy, what are you doing here, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dearest madam. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruto. Mr. Herlock Sholmes' sensational skin print Seeker gun. Months ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. Sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. Whoa. There, now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray? How do you do that exactly? A little press of A in the area you're interested in is required like this. Oh, what? What is that stuff? It's like a fog. Why did it spray on the left and then go on the right? A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellows. You'll learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Wouldn't the whole place be covered? Because he touched everything? Pressing A on everything. So he didn't touch this? It's weird. how much more do I have to spare to just go back? Oh. Oh, what the? Look, there are a dozen handprints over there. So there are a great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. It sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all. And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Oh, very true, Mrs. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. Is that picture hiding something? Oh, finally. Oh, look at all this here. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of victims' fingerprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Ooh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here. There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's only something a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, it is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Enough. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. Yeah. The handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. What is it, Mrs. Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruto. The floorboards has popped out. One of the, you mean, the secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Sato. So what do we have in here? Oi, what are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around under the floor here. Your fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. Don't think I could have left a straw tatami then. No, I know. But I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh. I'll investigate at once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. Aw. How disappointing. Oh, is he listening? But then how do you explain the handprints? I can't really think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. There you are, a print for you. A photograph of the handprints on the wall has been entered into the court record. Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too. Now then, wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. Gregson? Hello? I'd love to know if there's anything under the floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson, really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show us what you found there. seeing as we're such good friends? We're not friends. No, I suppose not. That to smell failure. Yes, I heard. I'd kill to know what's under that floorboard. Alright then, fair is fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Boy, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items on the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now what do you want to know? Newspaper... Looks like this was cut out of the paper 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time in Manchester. How terrible. Made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but the nature of it... Oh my goodness. He committed a capital offense? A man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work. Into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like. But he'd hidden it somewhere and no one knows where. And now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. The capital offender article has been entered into the court. Huh. So this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the streets in front of the house there. Huh. Is that the painter from Green's place? I haven't seen. The gentleman on the left is Mr. Gerardeb, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Gerardeb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You could take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? You can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows the identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. I just smell failure. Yes, I heard. Hidden photograph. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamspeare himself isn't hidden. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in East End. Imagine Mr. Gerda was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud reason of it. It's a weird gift to give someone. Here's a picture of me and the random guy. Now this sting box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind the case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamspeare, give us a clue, man.
Didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruto. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box.
Yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Is there nothing more to this box then? I wonder. Hey, Wagahai.
Oh, look, it's that lovely little Kit Kat. What was its name?
It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call him, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. Wonder how he got in here. Clever cat.
Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man.
What? Wow.
Couldn't be happier now, look.
Just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Oh. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai.
Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever.
I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. Let's take a look at this. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susato-san and I are going to make it to spring.
That's true, we don't even have a meter or Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
Look at how the dark stain on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, from the water dripping out after the ice coins melted as you established in court this morning.
It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamspeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It's an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night.
Their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion.
What do I think of it? I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
That's fiction, Mrs. Sato. Let's hope it stays that way. And soap?
So it turns out Mr. Shamspeare wasn't eating the soap at all.
That's right. The mystery of why he had that on plate whilst holding the fork in his hand is solved.
Yes, to pry still his latest ice coin out of his mold. And in the process, he literally broke the bar of soap in two.
It certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. Sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked-up window.
That, with enough determination, you could always remove the bricks to set up some soap outside, can't you?
Sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mr. Sato.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruto.
And I think that's it. Cool. I think I'm going to end the episode here. And then next time, we'll go to Garadeb's room and then ask him about that picture. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. See ya. Bye.